Archangel Michael says, evil is moving, and the enemy has set a trap. A woman is on her way, dressed in deception, with a lie so strong it can shake the very ground beneath your feet. She walks with the law beside her, holding your picture in her hand, claiming you have committed a crime you never even dreamed of. They knock at your door, the sound echoing through the walls like a warning from the heavens. Your heart pounds as confusion grips you. Why is this happening? What is this darkness trying to consume you? But listen carefully, this is not just an attack on your name. This is a spiritual battle, a war unseen, a storm meant to destroy what God has set in place. The enemy does not attack what is weak. The enemy attacks what is chosen. Like this video. If you believe the enemy's lies will not prosper, type 333 in the comments. They are speaking against you, whispering falsehoods in hidden places. The woman has rehearsed her words, crafted them with precision, her voice steady as she leads the police to your doorstep. She holds evidence that does not belong to you, accusations woven in deceit, but spoken with confidence. You open the door, and there they stand. Faces unreadable, uniforms reflecting authority, their presence heavy in the air. They call your name, their eyes piercing, waiting for your reaction. You know the truth, but truth alone is not always enough to silence a storm. Fear grips you, but do not let it take hold. Archangel Michael says, this battle is not of flesh and blood, this is an attack from the shadows, designed to break you before your destiny is fulfilled. Hold your ground. Stand firm. The wicked may rise, but they will not prevail. If you believe no weapon formed against you shall prosper, type 777 now. The accusations spill from the woman's lips, each word a dagger aimed at your future. She speaks with conviction, her voice steady, her eyes filled with false fire. She points, she claims, she insists. The officers listen. You try to speak, but the weight of the moment is crushing. Will they believe you? Will they see through the lie? Your mind races, searching for the right words, the right action. The enemy wants you to react in fear, to fall into the trap set before you. But you are not alone, the atmosphere shifts. A presence unseen but deeply felt moves within the room. The battle is not just in the physical, it is raging in the spiritual. Forces unseen collide, angels drawing swords, light pushing against darkness. If you believe angels are fighting for you, type 111 in the comments. The woman's voice wavers for the first time. Something is shifting. She feels it. She sees it. The officers glance at each other. A flicker of doubt in their eyes. The power of deception begins to crack under the weight of divine truth. She stumbles over her words, her confidence faltering. The spirit behind her grows restless, sensing its grip loosening. The accusations no longer sound as convincing, the evidence no longer seems as damning. The light is exposing the darkness. Then, something unexpected happens. One of the officers pauses, looking at you, really looking at you. Their eyes search for something: truth, deception, fear, guilt. But they see something else. They see peace. They see strength. They see a presence beyond explanation. If you know God's power is greater than any false accusation, type 222 now. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The woman grows desperate, her voice rising, her hands trembling. She did not expect this. She expected fear, panic, anger. But she is met with something she cannot understand: faith. The trap she set is collapsing. The lies she spun are unraveling. One by one, the officers begin to question. They ask her again, pressing for details. The more she speaks, the more tangled her web becomes. Truth, like a blade of light, slices through the deception. Then comes the moment. A shift so sudden, so undeniable. One officer looks at you and says, "We need to investigate further." The woman's face drains of color. She knows what this means. She is losing control. If you know the truth will always come to light, type 555 in the comments. She tries one last time, her voice desperate, her words hurried. But it is too late. The air is different. The power she relied on has crumbled. She looks at you, but you do not flinch. You do not bow to fear. The officers step back, speaking among themselves. The woman watches, waiting for a sign that her plan has worked. But no such sign comes. The conversation turns, the doubts grow, and then, they turn to you and say, "We're sorry for the misunderstanding." Victory does not always come in thunder and fire. Sometimes, victory comes in silence, in the unseen shifts, in the quiet collapse of the enemy's plans. You have not just survived, you have overcome. The woman's face is pale now. Her power is gone. The enemy's trap has failed. She tries to protest, but the officers shake their heads. They have seen enough, and then, just as suddenly as they arrived, they leave. The woman stands alone, her lies exposed, her darkness powerless. She turns to you, eyes wide, but you say nothing. You do not need to. The battle is already won. If you believe the enemy's plans will always fail, type 999 now. The door closes, and the silence is filled with something greater than words: peace. The kind of peace that only comes after a battle fought and won in the spirit. The enemy will try again. That is the nature of darkness. But do not fear. You are protected. You are chosen. You are untouchable in the hands of the Almighty. This was a test, a moment meant to shake you. But you did not fall. You stood firm. And because of that, greater things are coming. Archangel Michael says, the enemy may rise, but they will always fall. The darkness may whisper, but the truth will always thunder louder. You are shielded. You are covered. You are victorious. If you receive this victory, type 444 in the comments now. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The battle is over. The storm has passed. And now, blessings will follow, Archangel Michael says. The enemy has set a trap, and the battle is unfolding even as you read this. A woman is coming, and she is not alone. The sound of sirens, the weight of accusation, the force of deception, it is all moving toward you. She walks with the police by her side, her grip tight around a picture. Your picture. The air is heavy with something unseen, something dark. The plan has been carefully crafted, the words carefully rehearsed. Her voice will be steady. Her face will show conviction. The lie will be so strong that even those sworn to uphold justice will believe it. If you believe the truth will always prevail, type 333 in the comments. The knock on your door will be loud. Firm. Unforgiving. It will not be a soft request, it will be a demand, an intrusion, an attempt to bring you down. You will stand before them, the woman's eyes locked on yours. She knows the truth, but the truth does not serve her purpose. She has chosen a different path, a path of destruction, a path fueled by the enemy's whispers. The officers will look at you, searching for something. They do not know what to believe. They have heard the accusations, seen the so-called evidence, and now they wait for your reaction. If you know God is your defender, type 777 now. The woman speaks. Her voice does not shake. She tells the story, twisting reality into something unrecognizable. Every sentence is a strike against you, every word another stone thrown. She points at you, her expression unwavering. The officers listen, their faces unreadable. You try to speak, but the weight of the moment is suffocating. Do not let fear take hold. Fear is the weapon of the wicked, the tool of deception. The enemy thrives on your panic, your uncertainty, your doubt. If you refuse to bow to fear, type 111 in the comments. But something is shifting. The atmosphere is changing. The woman does not see it yet, but you feel it. There is a presence in the room, unseen but undeniable. This is not just an accusation. This is a spiritual battle. The enemy has sent his forces, but heaven has already responded. The officers hesitate. A flicker of doubt crosses their faces. The lie is powerful, but something about you does not match the story they have been told. If you believe the power of truth will break every lie, type 222 now. The woman notices the hesitation. She presses harder, her voice rising, her emotions swelling. She needs them to believe her. She needs them to act now before the cracks in her story become too obvious, but the light always exposes the darkness. The lie is no longer as solid as it seemed. The more she speaks, the more uncertain the officers become. Then, the unexpected happens. One of the officers turns to you, really looking this time. Not just at your face, but at something deeper. If you know God's favor is on your life, type 555 in the comments. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The woman senses it. She feels the power slipping from her grasp. This is not how it was supposed to go. She was sure of the outcome. She tries again, louder this time. More forceful. Desperate, but desperation is not the voice of truth. It is the voice of a plan unraveling, of a spirit losing control. If you believe no lie can stand against divine justice, type 999 now. The officers exchange glances. Their confidence in her words is fading. They turn back to you, waiting, watching. You do not have to say much. You do not have to fight. The battle is already being won in the unseen. There is power in silence. power in the presence of the Almighty. And in this moment, victory is shifting into your hands. The woman tries one last time. Her words come fast, almost frantic. But the weight behind them is gone. If you receive this victory, type 444 in the comments now, and then, it happens. The shift. The officers step back. The energy in the room is different now. The case against you is falling apart. The accusations are losing their grip. The officers know, something is not right here. Archangel Michael says, a storm is coming, and it carries the weight of your past. A woman is on her way, and she is not alone. The enemy has sent her with a mission, with evidence, with a name on her lips, and that name is yours. She walks with the police by her side, her hands gripping something tight, a photograph, an accusation, a piece of history she wants to use against you. The shadows whisper as she moves, telling her this is her moment, telling her the time has come to bring destruction to your doorstep. But what she does not know is that this battle is not hers to win. The past is not chains around your feet. The past is not a prison you cannot escape. And what the enemy meant for harm, heaven is about to turn into your testimony. If you know no weapon formed against you shall prosper, type 333 in the comments. The knock at your door will not be gentle. It will be loud, forceful, demanding. The enemy does not come quietly. The enemy wants you shaken before you even speak. When you open the door, the woman's eyes lock onto yours. There is no hesitation in her stance. She is ready for battle, but she has already lost before she speaks. The officers look at you, their expressions unreadable. They have been told one story, but the truth is always bigger than the words of those who seek to destroy. If you believe truth will always rise, type 777 now. That if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The woman's voice is steady. She speaks of things buried long ago. She calls them secrets, but they are no secret to heaven. She calls them crimes, but she does not understand grace. Her words are meant to shake you. Her accusations are meant to bring fear. But fear is not your portion, and defeat is not your destiny. The officers listen, their faces showing no emotion. They take notes, they ask questions, they watch you closely. They are waiting to see if you will break. If you refuse to let fear control you, type 111 in the comments. But you are not the same person the enemy is trying to expose. The past may have left scars, but scars are proof that healing has already taken place. The things that were meant to bury you only made you stronger. The woman does not understand this. She is certain her words will be enough. She believes the past holds power over you, but she does not know that heaven has already rewritten your future. The officers shift. Something is changing in the air. They sense something is not as simple as it seems. If you believe God is shifting the atmosphere, type 222 now. The woman grows frustrated. She expected you to crumble. She expected you to beg for mercy. But you stand firm, unshaken, unafraid. She raises her voice, trying to force the moment into her control. But she is no longer in control. The unseen battle is shifting, and the victory is no longer in her hands. One of the officers pauses, looking at her instead of you. Doubt flickers in his eyes. The story she tells does not align with the person standing before him. If you know favor speaks louder than false accusations, type 555 in the comments. The woman notices. Panic begins to creep in. The confidence she carried is starting to break. The darkness behind her is losing ground. She tries again, her words more desperate. She repeats the accusations, but they no longer hold the weight they once did. The officers are no longer just listening to her, they are watching her. A silence falls over the room. It is heavy, but it is not fear. It is something else. It is the sound of lies beginning to collapse. If you believe every trap set against you will fail, type 999 now. One officer turns to you. He asks a question, but it is different from the ones before. His tone is not one of accusation, it is one of curiosity. He wants to understand. Your words are few, but they are powerful. You do not need to defend what heaven has already redeemed. The truth is your armor, and the truth does not shake. The woman watches, realizing the shift. This is not going how she planned. This was not supposed to happen. If you receive this victory, type 444 in the comments now. The officers step back. The energy in the room has changed completely. The accusations no longer have weight, then. It happens. The decision is made. They will not act against you. There is no case here, the woman protests, but the officers shake their heads. They have heard enough. What she thought was power has been stripped from her hands. If you know the enemy's plans will always fail, type 888 in the comments. She looks at you, and for the first time, there is fear in her eyes. Not because of what she sees, but because of what she feels. She knows she has lost, she came to destroy, but she leaves with nothing. Her mission has failed. The enemy's attack has been broken, the door closes. The weight lifts. The silence is no longer heavy, it is peaceful. The battle has been won. If you know greater things are coming, type 777 in the comments. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. This was not just an attack on your name. This was an attempt to pull you back into the past, to make you believe that your history is greater than your future. But it has failed. You do not belong to the things that tried to break you. You do not belong to the mistakes of yesterday. You belong to the promise of tomorrow. Archangel Michael says, the past has no power here. The enemy may rise, but they will always fall. You are shielded. You are covered. You are victorious, and now, blessings will follow, Archangel Michael says. The enemy has set a trap, and it is already in motion. A woman is coming, and she is not coming alone. She carries something in her hand, your picture, your name, your future wrapped in a plan you never saw coming. She walks with the police by her side. The lie has already been spoken. The trap has already been set. She is confident. She believes the plan will succeed. She thinks she has already won. If you believe the enemy's plans will fail, type 333 in the comments. The knock at your door will be loud. The kind of knock that demands an answer. The kind of knock that tries to shake your spirit before the battle even begins. you will stand in the doorway, facing the unexpected. You will see the uniformed officers. You will see the woman, standing beside them, waiting for you to fall apart. Her voice will be calm, rehearsed, controlled. She will speak of things you do not recognize, accusations you never expected. The web of deception has already been spun. If you believe truth will always rise, type 777 now. The officers will listen. They will nod. They will examine the so-called evidence. They have been told a story, and now they wait to see if you fit inside it. You try to process what is happening. You search your memory, but nothing matches what she is saying. This is not just an attack, it is an ambush. The woman's eyes hold no hesitation. She believes her victory is certain. She believes this moment belongs to her. If you refuse to be shaken, type 111 in the comments. But what she does not see is the unseen battle taking place. This is not just about you. This is about something bigger. This is about the enemy trying to stop what has already been set in motion for your life. The trap was placed in secret. The lie was crafted in darkness. But light is beginning to break through. The officers exchange glances. Something is shifting. Doubt is creeping in. If you believe the truth will break every lie, type 222 now. The woman notices the shift. She presses harder. Her voice rises. She needs them to believe her before the truth has a chance to breathe. But something is wrong. Her words no longer hold the same weight. The more she speaks, the weaker her accusations sound. One of the officers studies her, not just listening, but watching. His instincts tell him something is off. If you know favor speaks louder than false accusations, type 555 in the comments. She tries again. She pushes forward, adding more details, more urgency. But desperation is not the sound of truth, it is the sound of something slipping away. Her confidence is cracking. Her eyes dart toward you, searching for fear. But there is none. The officers hesitate. The air feels different now. The energy has shifted. If you believe no weapon formed against you shall prosper, type 999 now. One officer turns to you. The question is simple, but the weight behind it is heavy. They are no longer certain of what they walked in believing. You do not have to defend yourself. You do not have to fight. The battle has already been won in the unseen. The woman's breath catches. She knows. She can feel it slipping away. The power she thought she had is crumbling. If you receive this victory, type 444 in the comments now. The officers step back. Their decision is clear. There is no case here. The truth is undeniable. The woman's face pales. Her hands shake. She is losing control. She tries one last time, but it is too late. The shift has already happened. The enemy's plan has failed. If you know the enemy will always fall, type 888 in the comments. The officers turn to her now. The questions begin again, but this time. They are not for you. She stammers. She hesitates. The confidence is gone. The officers speak among themselves. She watches, powerless. She thought she was in control, but control has slipped from her hands. If you believe greater things are coming, Type 777 in the comments. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Then, the moment comes. The officers shake their heads. They do not believe her. They will not act against you. The woman is left standing alone. The weight of her own deception now rests on her shoulders. She looks at you, but she sees something she did not expect: strength, power, victory. The battle is over. The storm has passed.